Again, feels like I'm running a marathon with two lectures. I don't know how you guys are feeling right now, but let's try to make this a little simpler and a little short. The topic that we'll be discussing is hypertension. Okay, and pathogenesis of hypertension. So hypertension, as the name suggests, is basically pressure of blood that is exerted on the vascular wall or the pressure of blood on the circulatory system. Now, blood pressure, that is the pressure of the blood that is exerted on the vessel wall, can either be increased or it could be a decreased pressure. So it could be either hypertension or it could be hypotension. Now the problem with hypotension is that is जब blood का pressure fall होता है, the problem then is that there are chances of ischemia to the organs or the end organs. Whereas जब hypertension होती है और blood का pressure increase होता है on the vessel wall, there are always chances of endothelial injury. ये हमने vessel wall disease में भी बात की थी कि जब भी pressure of blood on vessel wall increase होगा, there will be chances of endothelial injury. एंडोथेलियल इंजरी क्या करती है कि ना तो सिर्फ ये करती है कि वो एथेरोस्क्लेरोसिस को एक तरह से प्रोसेस को स्टार्ट करती है, but also what it does is that it causes infarction, eventual infarction at multiple organ sites in small vessels. There are chances that an increased blood pressure, hypertension may cause renal failure, and there are also chances that it may lead to aortic dissection. Aortic dissection में भी हमने बात की थी कि hypertension is one of the risk factors. Now the blood pressure has to be controlled in a very narrow range. If we talk about a little bit about physiology, तो जो blood pressure है आपका, that is basically dependent upon the cardiac output and the peripheral resistance. ठीक है? अच्छा, cardiac output जो है in return is dependent upon two factors. One is the blood volume and the other is the heart rate and the contractility. जितना ज़्यादा blood volume होगा और जितना ज़्यादा heart rate होगा, उतना ही ज़्यादा cardiac output होगा. That means कि cardiac heart जितना ज़्यादा blood volume में और जितने force के साथ पेरिफेरल सिस्टम में पुश करेगा, उतना ज़्यादा चांसेस है of blood pressure to rise. Therefore, it's directly proportional. Then we come to the peripheral resistance. Peripheral resistance का क्या मतलब है कि एक तो प्रेशर वो है जिससे ब्लड एक्सर्ट कर रहा है वेसल वॉल के ऊपर, एक प्रेशर वो है जो वेसल वॉल एक्सर्ट कर रही है ऑन द ब्लड दैट इज इन इट्स ल्यूमेन, मीनिंग कि जो आपकी वेसल वॉल है वो या तो डायलेटेड है या कंस्ट्रिक्टेड. ठीक है? Now, this constriction or dilation depends upon two factors. या तो humoral factors होंगे, meaning chemical agents which are causing dilatation of the vessel or constriction of the vessel. इसके few examples are nitric oxide, for example, causes dilatation of the vessel, तो आपका peripheral vascular resistance decrease कराता है. Whereas angiotensin or thromboxanes जो होते हैं, they cause vasoconstriction, therefore the pressure that the vessel wall is exerting on the blood वो उसको increase करा रहा है. Then there are neural factors जो कि आपके होते हैं अल्फा एंड बीटा एड्रेनर्जिक फैक्टर्स जिसके ऊपर डिपेंड करते हैं आपके वेसल कि वो कंस्ट्रिक्ट हो रही है या डायलेट. This is also another diagram that is showing us that whenever there is a decrease in the peripheral vascular resistance, that is the vessels are dilated and the cardiac output is decreased due to any cause, such as a decrease in contractility or a decrease in the blood volume, the overall blood pressure is going to fall. Okay? As a result, on another hand, if we see that any increase in cardiac output or the peripheral vascular resistance will eventually cause blood pressure to rise. Normally body में अच्छा body में आपके जो ये humoral factors है, cardiac output है, blood volume, all these factors are affecting the blood pressure, but to a certain extent kidneys are also playing a role in the regulation of blood pressure by these mechanisms: renin-angiotensin system, prostaglandin and nitric oxide production, by the control of the GFR and the natriuretic factors. ये पूरा जो physiological process है ये किस तरह मूव होता है, which I'm sure everybody knows. I'm just going to briefly overview it. Basically होता ये है कि if there is any fall in the pressure of the blood, okay, which might be due to a low blood volume or a low resistance, what happens is a low blood pressure is first and foremost detected by the renal arterioles. Renal arterioles क्या करती हैं कि इसका ब्लड का प्रेशर, लो ब्लड प्रेशर को डिटेक्ट करती है एंड कॉज प्रोडक्शन ऑफ रेनिन. ठीक है, जक्स्ट्राग्लोमेरुलर सेल्स जो है वो रेनिन प्रोड्यूस करेंगे. रेनिन जाके लिवर को एक्टिवेट करेगा कि स्टार्ट फॉर्मिंग एंजियोटेंसिन, टेंसिनोजन, and converted into angiotensin 1. Angiotensin 1 is then converted in the lung, from the lung endothelial tissues to endothelial cells to angiotensin 2. ये जो ACE enzyme होता है, the angiotensin converting enzyme, ये endothelial cells release करते हैं और वो angiotensin 2 को activate करते हैं. Angiotensin 2 further has two functions, two main functions. First and foremost हो जाएगा adrenal gland के पास. It's going to go and say adrenal gland start producing aldosterone. Aldosterone has a function कि वो eventually causes sodium to be reabsorbed by the kidney. ज़्यादा सोडियम को रीअब्जॉर्ब करेगा और जब सोडियम रीअब्जॉर्ब होगा तो उसके साथ में वाटर रीअब्जॉर्प्शन होगी. ठीक है. सेकेंड फंक्शन ऑफ एंजियोटेंसिन इज टू कॉज वेजोकंस्ट्रिक्शन. वेजोकंस्ट्रिक्शन कराएगा तो ओवरऑल पेरिफेरल वैस्कुलर रेजिस्टेंस इज गोइंग टू इंक्रीज. एंड आई टोल्ड यू ब्लड प्रेशर इज डायरेक्टली प्रोपोर्शनल टू द पेरिफेरल वैस्कुलर रेजिस्टेंस. एक तरफ तो किडनी वॉल्यूम बढ़ा रही है बाय इंक्रीजिंग द वाटर रीअब्जॉर्प्शन, दूसरी तरफ वेजोकंस्ट्रिक्शन हो रही है. टुगेदर दे विल कॉज द ब्लड प्रेशर टू increase or it to become normal. ठीक है, normotensive. Physiologically अगर if we're talking about blood pressure. Now in the same way, if there is any cause that is increasing in the blood pressure or it is causing an increase in the volume overload on the heart, there is going to be release of atrial natriuretic peptide which is secreted by the atrium. And इसका जो function होता है वो ये होता है कि it causes peripheral vasodilation and at the same time it helps to excrete the sodium and water from the body. Therefore, all these mechanisms together are going to be functioning to keep any body in a normotensive state. Yeah, blood pressure normal पे है. Now, blood pressure is a continuously distributed variable and blood pressure के अंदर होता क्या है कि hypertension में कोई एग्जैक्ट ब्लड प्रेशर ऐसा नहीं है, ये ब्लड का प्रेशर रीडिंग ऐसी नहीं है जिस पे बता सकें कि दिस इज द प्रेशर व्हेन द एंड ऑर्गन डैमेज इज गोइंग टू स्टार्ट. But a person can be diagnosed having being hypertensive if on more than 3 occasions his blood pressure is more than systolic blood pressure is over 139 millimeter of mercury and diastolic is over 89 millimeter of mercury. And both these pressures have basically contribute to the cardiovascular risk. However, diastolic pressure, which is on the higher side, is more associated with end organ damage. Now, as the age or the time period of having hypertension increases, utne zyada risk of complications are going to increase. And if hypertensive patients are left untreated, then the first and foremost thing that is very important which they develop is ischemic heart disease. And this is due to the endothelial injury that is caused by the increased pressure of the blood and leading to the formation of atherosclerosis. Now, if we talk about types of hypertension, तो तीन तरह के होते हैं. एक होता है essential hypertension और primary hypertension. Then there's secondary hypertension, and then there's another form of hypertension which is not seen very commonly, but it is very life-threatening, and it is known as malignant hypertension. Now, for essential hypertension or primary hypertension, basically there are a number of factors that are working in collaboration with each other. Because essential hypertension या primary hypertension का कोई cause known नहीं है. It does not have any known cause. So anytime the hypertension is idiopathic or if the cause cannot be determined, it is labeled as primary hypertension, and most of the cases, like more than 80% of the cases that are seen in hypertension are those of the essential type. अगर कोई known cause होती है in any organ of the body या कोई systemic cause होती है जो मिल जाती है, then it is known as secondary hypertension. तो अब hypertension, essential hypertension का exactly तो since the cause is unknown, you can just never be certain exactly what the pathogenesis would be. However, it is postulated that a number of factors are present which, working in collaboration with each other, might lead to the development. एक तो genetic factors हैं, ठीक है. It is seen that familial जो है वो hypertension present होती है, runs in families. It's one of the comorbids which is seen running in families. दूसरा ये है कि these genetic factors, when they come in contact with environmental factors including sodium intake, आपका कितना है, factors such as obesity, factors such as lifestyle, stationary lifestyle, stress, all these factors when they interact with the genetic factors, they might cause essential hypertension. तो specifically कोई एक genetic cause इसकी नहीं होती, specifically कोई एक certain environmental cause नहीं होती. It has to be something that occurs in collaboration. Now, essential hypertension में क्या होता है? One thing that is very important to understand is that it is thought of, it's one of the theories that what basically happens is that the problem starts when the sodium excretion by the kidney decreases. ठीक है. What happens is कि एक normal arterial pressure पे या normal blood pressure पे kidney उतना sodium को excrete नहीं कर रही होगी जितना required है by the body. As a result of that, what happens is कि overall आपका जो है जो perception heart को मिलता है वो ये मिलता है that it's supposed to cause vasodilation, which is then picked up by the kidney, and in return automatically वो क्या करता है, kidney क्या करती है, it is going to release renin. ठीक है. जब renin release होगा kidney से, there is going to be vasoconstriction and there is going to be further sodium and water that is going to be taken out. But what happens is that the overall volume of the body, मतलब जो आपका blood volume है और blood sodium है, ये increase हो रहा है. ठीक है. Gradually what happens is कि body अपना peripheral vascular resistance बढ़ाना शुरू कर देती है. Heart starts to think कि sodium body में बहुत ज़्यादा होता जा रहा है, I need to increase the peripheral vascular resistance. Peripheral vascular resistance जब increase होता है, so what happens is the pressure of the blood rises. And this is when the kidney detects that I'm supposed to excrete more sodium. In other words, if you think about it, this theory says that there is resetting of the sodium natriuresis, meaning that normally pressures पे sodium excretion अच्छी नहीं हो रही body से. Body is only retaining sodium. There is some problem in the kidney that is not excreting sodium to the amount that it should be excreted out. As a result, blood का pressure rise होता है to push out more sodium from the body. This rise in blood pressure is then detected by the kidney, and the kidney starts to excrete sodium out of the body, but at the expense of a rise in blood pressure. तो normally क्या होगा कि basically क्या होगा कि patient के body में pressure rise हो जाएगा, and it's going to be taken normally by the body. कि इसी blood pressure पे sodium is going to be excreted, and gradually if this process keeps going on, this causes an increase in blood pressure or a hypertensive state. कहते हैं ना हाइपरटेंशन में पेशेंट है उसका ब्लड प्रेशर जो है वो 130/90 ही रहता है, या फॉर एग्जांपल 140/95 रहता है ब्लड प्रेशर पेशेंट का, एंड वो उसी पे सेट हो गया है. दैट इज बिकॉज द बॉडी हैज नाउ अंडरस्टूड द फैक्ट कि 140/90 के ब्लड प्रेशर पे ही आई एम गोइंग टू बी एक्सक्रीटिंग इनफ सोडियम टू keep the blood pressure from rising further and further. This is basically called resetting of the pressure natriuresis. Now, these were the factors that are present, that are the mechanisms that lead to essential hypertension or primary type of hypertension. The secondary type of hypertension has a number of causes, and they can be tabulated in the form in renal, endocrine, cardiovascular causes, and neurological causes. The most important and the most common causes of secondary hypertension are those of associated with the kidney, and इसमें सबसे important जो है that is renal artery stenosis. Renal artery stenosis जब होगा, there is going to be eventually less blood that is going to be entering the afferent arteriole, and as a result of which the cascade of hypertension will or blood pressure rise will start. Other things that can reasons why there might be development of secondary hypertension could be a syndrome that is known as the Liddle syndrome. इट इज़ अ जेनेटिक कॉज एंड इसमें होता ये है कि जो आपका किडनी पे सोडियम की रीअब्जॉर्प्शन के लिए जो आपके रिसेप्टर्स होते हैं उनका गेन ऑफ फंक्शन म्यूटेशन हो जाता है, मीनिंग के बेस उनके अंदर ऐसी म्यूटेशन होती है दैट दे कीप रीअब्जॉर्बिंग मोर एंड मोर सोडियम एज अ रिजल्ट ऑफ व्हिच देयर इज गोइंग टू बी हाइपरटेंशन, क्योंकि सोडियम के साथ आपका water भी reabsorb होता है and eventually causes increase in the blood volume and cardiac output. Then there is one of the cause that is known as primary aldosteronism. Primary aldosteronism में क्या होता है? This is basically a problem that is in the adrenal gland, and aldosterone, as you normally know, has the function of reabsorbing sodium and water from the kidney. So primary hyperaldosteronism में the formation of aldosteronism is increased and it causes increase in the overall blood volume. Then we have so these were basically primary and secondary, or essential and secondary hypertension. Another thing that I have to mention here is malignant hypertension. Malignant hypertension क्या होती है? Malignant hypertension is a life-threatening condition. It can occur in a patient who has no known history of hypertension, and it can occur in a patient who has prolonged hypertension. What happens is that the systolic blood pressure rises more than 200 millimeter of mercury, and the diastolic blood pressure rises over 120 millimeter of mercury, and it's a medical emergency, and the blood pressure has to be controlled, otherwise it can prove fatal. And if the blood pressure in a malignant hypertension is if you're unable to control the blood pressure, it is usually basically the survival is less than a year. Now, if we morphologically talk about the vascular pathology, that is, or the vessel wall disease that we see in hypertension, it is associated in two forms, and it is seen in the small blood vessels. One is the hyaline arteriolosclerosis, and the other is hyperplastic. We did this in the vessel wall disease when we were doing vessel wall disease. So, hyaline arteriolosclerosis में क्या होता है कि just because of increasing the blood pressure, देखो जब भी ब्लड का प्रेशर इंक्रीज होगा तो सबसे पहले जो आपके स्मॉल आर्टेरियोल्स है उसमें चेंज जो है वो पता चलेगा। रीजन बीइंग कि उसका ल्यूमेन ऑलरेडी छोटा होता है। स्मॉल आर्टेरियोल्स में क्या होना शुरू हो जाएगा? हाइपरटेंशन की वजह से क्या होगा? एंडोथेलियल इंजरी होगी। Endothelial injury is going to give rise to give basically space for hyaline material or proteinaceous material to start entering and start depositing within the intima of the vessel. As you can see right over here, small arterioles में there is going to be endothelial injury. Endothelial injury का जो response होता है of injury to a vessel wall can be in the form of deposition of connective tissue material or smooth muscle cells. Initially आपके पास क्या होता है? There is hyaline material that will start depositing within the intima of the vessel, and it is going to cause slight luminal narrowing. It is going to cause thickening of the vessel wall. ना सिर्फ हाइलाइन मटेरियल वेसल वॉल को थिकन करता है बट ऑल्सो उसकी इलास्टिसिटी को डिक्रीज करता है। देयरफॉर it is unable to withstand a lot of changes that are occurring in terms of the vascular resistance. Then there is hyperplastic arteriosclerosis. Hyperplastic arteriosclerosis severe hypertension में होता है या फिर prolonged hypertension में होता है। As time passes on, what happens is there is concentric thickening of the walls and luminal narrowing, and the reason for this is that there is smooth muscle proliferation within the intima of the vessel. As we talked about in the endothelial injuries के बाद smooth muscles जो present होते हैं आपके vessel wall के अंदर, they start to migrate into the intima as a process of healing. तो जो hyperplastic आपकी arteriosclerosis है उसमें there is always concentric onion skinning, that is this is hyperplastic arteriosclerosis and this is hyaline arteriosclerosis जिसमें ground glass का substance मौजूद होता है। Although hyaline arteriosclerosis causes luminal narrowing, it also causes a loss in the elasticity of the vessel wall. But the more जिसको कहते हैं aggressive process is hyperplastic, because the luminal narrowing in hyperplastic arteriosclerosis is far more. Now, hypertension के हमने effects की बात की on the arterioles या on the vessels. So eventually क्या होगा कि आपके जो small arterioles हैं which are present in different organs, especially the kidney. As we talk about कि hypertension जो है it leads to renal failure, उसका main reason ही यही है कि जो small vessels आपकी kidney में होती है या small vessels different organs में होती है, even vessels that are present within the retina, they're all affected. And similar changes can also be seen in diabetes. So eventually जब आपके हाइलाइन या फिर hyperplastic changes arterioles में हो रहे होंगे, this can become one of the causes of ischemia to that certain organ and lead to microinfarcts and eventually infarction at different sites. So organ infarctions जो है वो फिर common हो जाते हैं. Now, what effect does hypertension have on the heart? So what is the hypertensive heart disease? Hypertensive heart disease, it stems from an increased demand that's based on the heart by hypertension, which causes pressure overload and ventricular hypertrophy. That means कि जो भी आपके हार्ट के ऊपर जो फॉर एग्जांपल तुम सोचो कि जो आपका वेंट्रिकल है, लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल है, वो क्या कर रहा है कि आपका ब्लड पुश कर रहा है इनटू द सिस्टमिक सर्कुलेशन वाया द एओर्टा. अगर पेरिफेरल वैस्कुलर रेजिस्टेंस हाई होगा, दैट मीन्स आपकी आर्टरीज और आर्टेरियोल्स में प्रेशर हाई होगा, उनका टोन बहुत ज़्यादा होगी, उतना ही ज़्यादा वर्क वेंट्रिकल को करना पड़ेगा टू पुश द ब्लड इनटू द पेरिफेरल वेसल्स. ठीक है, उनकी टोन अगर बिल्कुल नॉर्मल होगी तो फिर वेंट्रिकल को बहुत ज़्यादा प्रेशर पुट नहीं करना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज इट्स नॉट रियली पुशिंग ब्लड अगेंस्ट द रेजिस्टेंस. Prolonged hypertension में क्या होता है कि ventricles are constantly pushing blood against resistant vessels or vessels that are resisting it. एंड मोस्ट कॉमनली जो है वो हाइपरटेंसिव हार्ट डिजीज के इफेक्ट्स जो होंगे या हाइपरटेंशन के जो इफेक्ट्स होंगे दैट आर सीन इन द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल. Now, what happens is left heart is most likely involved. However, if there is pulmonary hypertension that develops, this leads to right-sided hypertensive heart disease, and this is also called as for pulmonary. So always remember that systemic hypertension is causing a load on the left ventricle, whereas the pulmonary hypertension is causing a load on the right ventricle. Now, if we talk about left-sided hypertensive heart disease, then the minimum criteria for its diagnosis is that there will be left ventricular hypertrophy, and usually it is in the form of concentric form, and there is going to be a history of pathological evidence of hypertension. Compensated systemic hypertensive heart disease may be asymptomatic, producing only echo or electrocardiogram changes. So basically what happens is कि अगर condition gradual है आपका onset और gradual बहुत दिनों से present है लोगों में, तो बहुत to a certain extent or depending on if there is no other cardiovascular pathology, तो heart जो है बहुत हद तक compensate कर लेता है, and usually the patients are asymptomatic. Now, depending on the severity, duration, and the underlying basis of hypertension, the patient may enjoy normal life or die of unrelated causes. They may develop ischemic heart disease due to potentiating effects of hypertension and suffer renal damage or cerebral vascular stroke, or they may experience progressive heart failure. So they might have an ischemic heart disease का event because of the development of atherosclerosis, stroke हो सकता है या फिर progressive heart failure. Now, if we see morphologically, then the systemic hypertensive heart disease that affects the left ventricle causes a thickening of the left ventricle wall size and decreasing the lumen of the left ventricle. Already left ventricle का wall जो होता है वो thick होता है, लेकिन systemic hypertension में there is concentric thickening of the left ventricular wall. The thickness of the wall may exceed 2 centimeter, and the heart weight may exceed 500 grams. Now, with the thickening of the left ventricle, the stiffness of the left ventricle is also going to increase. Therefore, the dilatation or the relaxation of the heart during diastole is not going to be the same, and therefore the blood volume eventually that is coming into the ventricle or received by the ventricle will also decrease. क्योंकि lumen भी उसका साथ साथ कम होता जा रहा है. When we talk about right-sided hypertensive heart disease, then basically this is cor pulmonale, and it usually results from causes in the lung that are leading to that lead to development of increased pressure on the pulmonary artery. This is which is arising from the right ventricle. Now, the causes of cor pulmonale include COPD, there may be interstitial fibrosis, cystic fibrosis, uh, idiopathic pulmonary hypertension, or other neuromuscular disorders. एंड ना मॉर्फोलॉजिकली व्हेन वी सी तो फिर होता क्या है कि राइट वेंट्रिकुलम में हाइपरट्रोफी इतनी ज़्यादा नहीं होती जितनी ज़्यादा डायलिटेशन होती है. उसके दो रीजन है. एक रीजन ये है कि राइट वेंट्रिकल इटसेल्फ इज नॉट वेरी थिक इन कंसिस्टेंसी. दूसरा क्या होता है कि राइट वेंट्रिकल को तो ब्लड से पुश करना है इनटू द पल्मोनरी आर्टरी व्हिच इज जस्ट इन द विसिनिटी एज दैट गोज इनटू द लंग. लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल को तो पूरे सिस्टम में ब्लड पुश करना था. दैट इज व्हाई इट हैज अ थिकर वॉल एंड इट हैज मोर प्रेशर दैट इट हैज टू apply. So right ventricle on cut section usually becomes dilated. It becomes, in a longer period of time, it starts to become more crescent shape. And what happens is that when this right ventricle is going to dilate, the pressure of the blood eventually is going to fall back into the सिस्टमिक सर्कुलेशन. दैट इज जो आपका वीनस पूल है सारा का सारा प्रेशर उसके ऊपर फॉल होना शुरू हो जाएगा क्योंकि जो आपकी हार्ट की जो राइट साइडेड वेंट्रिकुलर वॉल है दैट कीप्स बिकमिंग मोर एंड मोर वीक. This is just wrapping up the lecture. I would like to show you this sequence of events that takes place in case of any form of heart failure. This right now we're talking about hypertensive heart disease leading to heart failure. But if we see that right-sided अगर आपके पास heart failure है, that is going to cause congestion of the peripheral tissue. If there is pulmonary hypertension putting a back pressure or a backlog on the right ventricle, the right ventricle is going to start to fail. एक point आएगा, पहले तो वो अपनी तरफ से पूरा adaptation की कोशिश करता रहेगा. A point will come when the pressure, if the pressure is not क्या कहते हैं released, a time will come that it is going to eventually start to fail. It will start to exhaust, and the congestion will occur in the peripheral tissues. That is tissues जहाँ से venous supply आ रही है. There is going to be edema and ascites. Ascites means there is going to be free fluid in the abdominal aortic cavity. Liver congestion hoga, which is going to lead to impaired liver function. There will be GI tract congestion, anorexia, GI stress. Therefore, right ventricular failure will always lead towards liver failure and a multi-organ damage and multi-organ failure. Whereas if we compare the left heart failure में क्या होगा कि अगर आपकी systemic circulation या systemic hypertension is increased, there is going to be eventual exhaustion of the left ventricle. Left ventricle exhaustion जब वो failure में जाना शुरू कर देगा तो eventually there is going to be a decreased output, cardiac output, क्योंकि ventricle में इतना pressure नहीं होगा कि वो systemic circulation में blood दे सके. So the eventual tissue perfusion is going to fall. Then there is going to be signs of hypoxia and cyanosis. The reason for this is that इतना time ही नहीं मिल पा रहा lung में कि जो है ब्लड को ऑक्सीजनेट होने का. उसका मेन रीजन ये होता है कि आपका जो लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल है दैट इज रिसीविंग ब्लड फ्रॉम द लंग. ठीक है, आपका एट्रियम में ब्लड आता है, लेफ्ट एट्रियम गोज डाउन इनटू द लेफ्ट वेंट्रिकल. जब वेंट्रिकल डायस्टोली में रिलैक्स ही नहीं होगा या फिर उसका ल्यूमन इतना डिक्रीज हो चुका होगा बिकॉज ऑफ द वॉल थिकनिंग एंड द डिक्रीज इन द ल्यूमन ऑफ द चेंबर ऑफ द वेंट्रिकल, ब्लड सारा कहाँ जाएगा? लेफ्ट एट्रियम से. लेफ्ट एट्रियम में ही रहेगा. इट विल नॉट हैव इनफ स्पेस टू कम इनटू द वेंट्रिकल. जब लेफ्ट एट्रियम में ब्लड पूल होना शुरू हो जाएगा तो वो क्या करेगा, उसके ऊपर बैक प्रेशर बनेगा. बैक प्रेशर से क्या होगा, पल्मोनरी वेन्स में वो लॉग होना शुरू होगा. पल्मोनरी वेन से लॉग होके फिर स्टार्ट लॉगिंग अप इनटू द लंग, क्योंकि जो आपका एल्वियोलाई के अराउंड कैपिलरीज हैं जो कि ब्लड को ऑक्सीजनेट कर रही हैं वो क्लॉग होना शुरू हो जाएंगी. जब वो ब्लड की पूलिंग वहाँ पे शुरू होगी तो ब्लड की जो जितना फ्लूइड कंपोनेंट है इट स्टार्ट्स एक्स्ट्रावजेटिंग इनटू द pulmonary or the lung parenchyma leading to pulmonary congestion. Now pulmonary congestion जो है this is going to further decrease the alveolar space क्योंकि alveoli के अंदर होना चाहिए air. तो जब आपके lung parenchyma में fluid आना शुरू हो जाएगा so the interface is not going to be formed and oxygenation of the blood that is already present is going to further fall, leading to symptoms like cough, if for the sputum. There is going to be nocturnal dyspnea. There is going to be orthopnea. So all the changes that are taking place in left-sided heart failure or left-sided hypertensive heart disease that is of the left side is going to show symptoms of lung or pulmonary congestion, cough,